Hello, good evening and welcome again to my channel. Thank you very much for checking me out again. Make sure I've got my mic on. Right, where are I? Okay, right, that's it, yeah. Right, welcome again to my channel. Thank you again for coming and visiting me. It's much appreciated. As I said before, I'm on this sort of Telecaster journey. I started off with the Harley Benton T62 vintage model by Harley Benton, and the vintage V58 by Jerry Donahue tribute model. Now, I didn't realise I had so many Telecasters. It's about 6 in total. I did do an unboxing of one of them, which is the Keith Richard tribute by Harley Benton. That was very, very popular. Excellent guitar. I've literally kept that. I've even bought a new case for it. It even sounds better now. I've got the Fender Blues Junior. Now, just to give you a background of why a Telecaster, I have to be brutally honest with you. When I first saw the Telecaster, I thought, my goodness, what an ugly looking guitar. It's so minimalistic looking to me. It looks almost agricultural in its appearance. And it's not until a good friend of mine from school, he gave me, see if I've still got it, just bear a second. Yeah, sorry about that, yeah. Friend of mine from school, he actually gave me an album by this gentleman called Roy Buchanan, an album called Loading Zone. And you can see it's got a kind of Telecaster. And I listened to it and it kind of blew me away. I thought, who's this guy? No effects, went for some sort of Fender amp. He'd done all the effects, everything by his fingers. And I couldn't believe the type of tones and sound he's getting from one guitar. And since then, obviously, I've sort of I've kind of checked out other musicians, especially Albert King, Teleplayer. Blew me away. So my first guitar was a Tysco Top 20, you know, like a Strat type thing, 3 pickups. My mum bought me that on my birthday. That was, you know, starting me off. And I always wanted a Fender Strat. That was my, because my teacher at school would say to me, Lem, when are you getting your Stratocaster? That was my thing. But coming back to the Telecaster, I saved up when I basically left school back in, I think it was, 76, 77. And I had a guitar shop, I forget the name it's called, was it Tuning or something like that, under near the bridge, Lewisham Bridge, past the High Street. Next door I had an organ shop there. I went in there and it was 2 particular guitars what caught my attention. One was a Yamaha SG-2000. I remember it was made famous by Carlos Santana. I wanted that guitar, but it was so expensive. I can't remember the cost of it back then. I think it was over £1,000. But I saw a Butterscotch 52 Telly in there, and that caught my eye. After listening to this guy, I wanted one just like that. Back in the day, obviously, we used to get paid from a pay packet in a brown envelope. I worked at an engineering company, mailbox, and Blackheath, and I used to take my part of my wages and go down there every single week on a Saturday and pay off the guitar. What was it, £800 I think it was. It took me a long time, but it allowed me to do that interest free. And I bought it at the original black sort of case with the Fender logo in it, brand spanking new. And I was so elated and full of joy. It was my first guitar. And I remember I was playing with this band at the time, because obviously my background is not like normal people, because I brought up in church, listening to gospel music and things like that. That was my kind of, you know, my parents was very, very strict and religious. Go to Sunday school every Sunday, listen to gospel music. Our church wasn't dead. It was totally live. They had drums, sax, keyboard players, the whole 9 yards. So I was kind of brought up with, surrounded by musicians in the church. So we kind of, I learnt my craft in church, self-taught. And we done a concert. It wasn't a concert, no, I beg your pardon. It was one of our friends. It was a wedding, and he asked us to play at the reception. And of course I brought my Telecaster there, and I had this guy there. Sadly he's passed away. And he said to me, "Oh, you got the Telecaster?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's have a go." Let me tell you what this guy done to this Telecaster. He made it talk. My jaw dropped. Obviously he was a pro musician. What he done to this guitar was nobody's business. It put me off, actually. And he said he wanted to give me back. I said, "No, carry on playing it." But eventually I did learn it. I did take it back. But you know, being part of a family of 7, I eventually reluctantly had to sell it. I was just moving home, getting my first bed sit and things like that. I needed the money. Reluctantly, I had to sell it. Anyway, that was that. So I've always kind of had a soft spot for that, you know, Blackguard Telecaster. I always, you know, but it was just at my price range. Because back in the day, finance, what was finance? You know, one payment plan. You had to save up for it, have the money in the bank, pay for it. I couldn't wait. So I didn't have the money. I could have got it, I suppose, if I saved up for it, but it was, at times was hard back then. So I always really wanted a sort of a American 52 Telecaster. Never did got one. But obviously in my collection, I've got 6, but secretly that's what I wanted, you know. But you know, things have changed in terms of manufacturing. Production has improved. The type of guitars, what's available to up and coming musicians, is a quantum leap in terms of quality, tones, everything, affordability, sport for choices, so to speak. So that's why I've got six kind of T-type guitars, you know, very, very good, but I'm just sort of, I'm systematically going through them so you can sort of see, you know, perhaps, you know, so today anyway, the 2 guitars, this is which I'll be talking about, and sort of probably doing a slight demo, is the Squier 40th anniversary Telecaster by Fender. I bought it from Thomann. When these first came out, I'm sure there's about between £400 and £600. It was quite expensive. Thomann was doing a special offer on this for under £300 early this year, and I pulled the trigger on it, and I bought it. It's lovely. But when I got it, I kind of, it sort of kept in the box because I tried it out and I thought, oh gosh, it's, you know, it had a couple of high frets at the top and it wasn't really set up to my liking. But one thing I did like is the neck. The neck is one of the best necks. It reminded me of my Telecaster. Okay, and the second one, I purchased on eBay, was this 50s style Classic Vibe, pine body, maple neck, you know, superb guitar, second hand. Because everyone talks about this, the classic vibes, you know, how good they are and everything else. And I thought to myself, well, I was so impressed with this. I got this one first before I saw that on Toman advertising very cheaply. You know, so I added that to it, you know, to give that authentic look. I'm kind of blown away by this, how good it is. But I thought, well, what's the difference between that and that? Because people, you know, looked on several videos online, and people are saying that these guitars are is basically the same. I thought, are they? Because initially, when these first came out, they was made in China, but now they're made in Indonesia. I wanted to know, is there a difference? One's got a satin finish, the other one is polyurethane finish. You know, quite substantial guitars. I mean, in terms of weight, they're about the same. About, you know, probably about a tad under 8 pounds. But I wanted to see what's the difference. You know, curiosity got the best of me. I thought, what's inside the engine? You know. Yes, I did do a unboxing of this, you know. So the first thing what I did, okay, let's have a look. Undid this. I want to see what's inside it. You can see that. Mini pots. When I saw that, I was a bit disappointed. It's got, obviously, you know, proper switchgear on it though, but mini pots. Inside the actual cavity, extremely clean, well routed out, not rough edges. I mean, it's not. I thought it was not the end of the world because, you know, I wanted to, you know, see, you know, what's made up, you know, why are these so popular? Yeah, I've got the recipe of you know, pine body, maple neck. Is that one piece? Yeah, one piece. Yeah, it's a one-piece maple neck on that. It's got that sort of a vintage tinted gloss neck. It's not sticky at all. It's quite good. So mini pots, proper switchgear on it, 250k pots on it. Obviously the switchgear, free selector switch is very good, very sturdy. The pots feel very smooth. I know they're mini pots, but they feel good. Okay. Right, let's have a look at the what's inside here. The pickups, they say it's Fender designed Alnico pickups on this. Yeah, obviously it's got brushed aluminium type of aged on here, on the switchgear and on the pickup, not on the machine heads though. Obviously this is an extra addition I bought because it kind of looked good with this brushed aluminium plate. I got this as well with it. Apparently that guitarist G. Smith, he says that it does make a difference, you know, in the tonal acoustic qualities by keeping that on. I thought, okay, we'll see. Right, take this off. Now, I've had the neck off of this as well because apparently, as I said, it had some high frets, which, no, it didn't have no high frets on this. It's quite good, nothing wrong with this. But to my surprise, this was brand new, by the way, from Toman. I think this was a B stock, that's why I probably got it so cheap. Both inside the pickup cavity, in the neck pickup, and in here, can you see it's shielded? Not painted, but that sort of a copper shielding inside there. It's got the sort of PCB kind of switch gear. It does feel as good as the Classic Vibe, but on here it's got full size pots. I can't see the make of it. Looks like kind of probably alpha pots, that type of thing, but you know, it's got bigger pots on this, full size pots, and it's got mini pots on the Classic Vibe. Put that back in. Now, I was told, I saw several videos about this 40th anniversary, and after I take this off, it's got obviously it wanted like that kind of classic vintage inspired. It's got the 3 barrel steel, you know, 3 bridge things, what you got to call them. I didn't want to change nothing on this because I thought, well, it's a 40th anniversary. I don't think, you know, they didn't make them. I don't know if you can still get them. But in terms, if I was going to sell it, you know, the appeal that it's a limited run of 40th edition goes in its favour. And everyone, let's face it, everyone love the Classic Vibe. So they hold their prices quite well, even second hand. Now, obviously the purpose of basically kind of doing this, and obviously I've changed the string trees to the roller ones on there, okay. The neck on this is superb, very same sort of soft C profile, no spread sprouts. It's actually got bone nuts on both of them, which is pretty good. Okay, but I was told that the neck pickups on these are quite dark. Yeah, it doesn't really sound. Well, I'll show you the sound comparison. It doesn't sound as bright as the Classic Vibe. Okay. So that's pine body. This is Nyota, whatever, some kind of wood, but it's obviously maple. Well, I suppose one of the best features on this guitar is the neck. The fit and finish on it is very good. It was no flaws when I got this, although this was a B stock. I don't know if they come with shielding, copper shielding inside it. Both, you know, probably someone sent it. If it was done like that, wow, you know, ferrules at the back. The neck plate is quite nice, as you can see. These are Fender design pickups, Alnico pickups on this. Okay, right. Now, just to kind of go through some tones on this guitar, starting from the actual bridge. Now I'm going through my Fender Blues Junior 15 valve amp. Now I've got the volume set on 3, the master set on 3, treble roughly in the middle, bass is on sort of 8, middle's quite down on number 2, and reverb is on 3. Now, I didn't want to sort of go, you know, I've got on my pedal board, I'll do another video and show you. I've kind of revamped my pedal board. It's very minimalistic. I've got obviously a handmade clon copy on it, Centaur. I've got a blues breaker pedal by Marshall, a Vibo trem by Marshall, Echo head by Marshall, and the Screaming Blues. The only sort of pedal I'll be using, if I did use it, it's a Screaming Blues. It's the nearest thing to an Ibanez Tube Screamer pedal. It's a very, very versatile pedal. Okay. Now, yeah, come back to the actual. It's a lovely looking guitar, I must admit. You know, and it you know, I've set it up to how I want it. So I said it had did I do any fretwork in it? No, I didn't. You know, the actual, I've set it quite low. I like it fairly low. Action, I didn't do nothing. I didn't adjust the truss rod. Did I adjust the truss rod on this? I'm not sure. I can't remember because it was early this year I got it. It should have been an unboxing, but sometimes you just can't be bothered. You know, you just want to get. You know, I sometimes get a bit excited, a bit, you know, enthusiastic when I see a new guitar. You know, it's quite bad of me. I should have shared it with you. So, but the packaging was superb. It's probably the best at all the guitars I bought new. The packaging on Fender Squiers, exceptional. You know. Okay, coming back to the actual, starting with the actual controls, the sounds on this. That's the bridge. Everything's full up. Everything's full on. Yeah. Okay. Pickups are quite bright. Turn it down a bit. Now, volume. It's off. It's not too bad. Tape's not too bad. It's livable. The tone control. See that, hang on. So I said, you know, I've kind of, you know, I'm a sort of gigging musician. Personally, if I haven't gigged this at all since I've had it, but you know, this is almost like these guitars. I look at them like I've written something down about them actually. What did I say? When I was thinking of making this video, I thought, okay, what should I call this video? What should I title it? You know, because I've played them both quite extensively. I wrote something down. I've called them. I've titled this video "Two Flawed Gems." Yeah, that can work to your advantage. Why? Because you can make them great guitars. You know, they're good, but you can make them great. If you're on a budget, that can be a keeper. That's true. So, you know, one of the first things I noticed about this guitar, see, before I started, I didn't want to swap anything out because I thought I like to keep guitars original as possible, if that's at all possible. but especially this one, it's kind of, you know, if I was going to swap out the pickups, I would still keep the original ones with it and sell it with this guitar, because some people are quite funny. They want everything original. No, I want the original pickups. I want the original saddles, everything. You know, because I bought titanium, some titanium compensated, and also brass saddles compensated as well. But I wanted to keep that traditional look, you know. So I messed about, you know, got the intonation doing, you know, pretty good. It's not perfect, but I got it pretty good, and the tuning stability is quite stable as well, surprisingly. Because obviously the machine heads are typical kind of vintage Clusen styles with the ones at the top. The hole, you just pop it in and wind it around, which it's one of my favourites actually, that type. It's very simple. Get a breakage on stage, whatever, pop it in. Now change the strings as a doddle for these type of guitars. But you know, these would have to be replaced with CTS pots or alpha pots, full size. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's my only gripe. You know, the switch, you know, the electronics would have to definitely be changed on it, and that will make it a great guitar. It's nothing to do with the fretboard. It's one of the best on these. Is one of the best type of necks on these guitars. That's the best part of it. You know. Okay. See, the thing is that they couldn't really make this with you know, the floors. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't put CTS pots, quality, the best pickups in it, because they're you know, you're treading on the toes of Fender, and that's the whole point of creating that's why Fender bought Squier, which was initially a string company. You know, they really wanted to, because of, you know, companies like Classic, Tokai, you know, when they saw the quality, they couldn't believe it. And obviously, you know, production cost and, you know, labour cost is cheaper in the Far East. So that's why the early Squiers are quite valuable, because they literally shipped them out there, and with all the parts, original Fender parts. That's why one of the things I've really annoyed myself, I got rid of a Silver Series Japanese made Squier, you know, Strat. I can't believe I've done that, you know, after buying it £26 on in a pawn shop. They didn't know what they had, you know. Anyway, so I'll give you an example. As you can see, the taper, nothing. Very limited, you know, and you know, it's a difference I noticed with the Harley Benton. I put a switch gear with CTS pots. The tape on it is totally different. It's like a Fender, you know? So the volume, it is like, it goes off too quickly. But all that sort of things, it's not the end of the world, because you can work around it, you know, by setting up the amp compensate for that, you know, and your tones and everything else, you know. But in terms of the you know, the money part, how it feels in your hand and how it plays, that's more important. Wasn't this bright. It was very, very, like someone that's basically muffled. It sounded like a very muffled, dark sound. So I literally, you know, I couldn't really adjust the bridge properly. So I took the actual plate off, the scratch plate, and I realised the actual hole what goes in, which got the spring underneath it, it wasn't adjustable. So I had to get a bigger screw. so you can adjust it. So I adjusted the heights and messed about with it till I got this, till the tone came up on the neck. Bridge. And the bridge. Sound good, you put a bit of dirt on it, but as I said, I didn't want to overwhelm the sound. I wanted to hear the sound. One thing with valves, you can turn it down and it cleans up quite well. Okay, let's swap them over, and let's have a look at the Classic Vibe. Yeah. Okay. Right. As I said, this is a tad thicker, I think. It's a 50s inspired. Bit much in it. Bone nut, one piece, looks like a one-piece maple neck as well. Same Clusen style. But what's under the bonnet? Let's have a look. As I said, this is additional, but it looks pretty good, isn't it? Okay. Take it off a minute. I want to see what's under this hood. The switchgear. Lose that. Okay. Interesting. As you can see that it's got two mini pots. The 40th anniversary's got larger pots, full-size pots, but PCB type switchgear. This one is the opposite. It's got good switchgear, but smaller pots. Interesting. Am I going mad? So it's got two small pots and a proper switchgear. Yeah. That's interesting. Puts back together. Two small spots and the proper switchgear on it. Let me switch this back. There's no shielding in it, but you know it's very, very clean and tidy inside it. So it's two mini pots. Right. Do you know what? I'm going mad. I can't remember if this had the proper switchgear as well as the full-size pots. Right. Just have a look. Oh, that's right, yeah. Full-size pots, but it's got the PCB switchgear on it. Okay, right. So it's the opposite That's interesting, because why that is? That's strange, isn't it? I mean, this was more expensive when it first came out than the Classic Vibe, so you would have thought it had yeah, full-size pots. But you know, PCB, they're okay, but you know, it feels sturdy enough. It's not flimsy like the Harley Bent. That's why I changed it. T62. All right, put this back together. Right. Right. Okay. Now it depends what you like. You know, I love this pine body. You can see the actual. Can you see that? You can see the grain through it. It's a lovely looking guitar. I won't lie to you. It's really, really nice. I love that vintage tinted neck on it. It's not sticky or nothing like that. Clues style machine heads. It's just got Squier at the back. It's a Classic Vibe through string through body. It's got the barrels, chrome barrel, 3 barrels on it, not intonatable. Okay. Although it's PCB, the switches on it, but it still feels okay. It's a lovely taper on it. Okay. Right, let's plug it in actually to see what it's like. Yeah, so I mentioned it's got bone nut as well on it. Okay. All right. Is it tuned? Yeah, you know, they're both relatively stays in tune, you know. Okay, with the neck. See, the neck's got much more of that telly brightness to it. Neck, middle, and a bridge. Let's basically now break it down in terms of the rear. Now, can you hear the difference? It's much more. It's got much more progressive on this. Much better. So the pots does make a difference on this. The volume. Very good. It's better than that. So the because it's got full size pots, I've noticed a difference. Does it make a difference in terms of the because it's supposed to be the same pickups, but they're not. They sound different. There's a bit of dirt on that, on the actual rear. Sorry. got bite, that rear bridge, you know. How it feels, both of them feels really good. To me, this got the edge. It's like a tad, a few millimeters slightly thicker. Or is it my imagination? Yeah, this is a tad thicker. That's about it, really. Okay, let me just see what it sounds like in a mix, potential mix, backing track. So I said, it feels very nice. It feels very comfortable, like an old friend really. You know, I'm impressed. You know, yes, I can see why everyone talks about these guitars. Okay, let me just swap over and try the 40th anniversary version. Okay. Start in the middle first. Right. Having played both of them, as you said, I've looked under the the switchgear on both of them. You can tell they're different. One's got small pots, and one's got proper switchgear on it. The freeway switchgear. The opposite of the other one has got larger pots, or the other way around. But you saw what I'm talking about. That's the only chink in its arsenal. The actual fit and finish on both guitars are, ones I've got anyway, were exceptionally good. As good as any sort of a Fender I've played, and I've owned a real one. You know, no fret sprouting. The necks are fantastic. Very good guitars. The machine heads are very good. You don't need to change them. The only thing what will bring up sort of like Fender Player series type specs is the hardware. You know, these sort of guitars, for people on a budget who don't want to spend thousands of pounds on a USA Fender, they can buy these guitars with confidence and upgrade them. You know, that's the only sort of the lacking in them. It needs that professional switchgear, the wiring loom included, everything. I would literally gut both of these, and put what they want. They're crying, they're screaming out because they're so well made. Honestly, they're so well made. They're screaming out for an engine upgrade. You know, I want more power. You know, so. But having said that, if you're a person who's not gigging and you're just an enthusiast, a collector, you know, one of your hobbies is staying at home and playing, you know, music at home, you don't need to do anything to them. If you're lucky enough like me to get a good one which doesn't need, the necks are perfect, the fretwork is good, the electronics works on it, you know, you'd be more than happy. So would I recommend these two? Absolutely. I know these are well documented on YouTube, but it's sometimes good to get an extra perspective from somebody else. Okay. Anyway, that's for now. Okay. I've got 2 more to demonstrate. I'll let you know. Well, you see when I basically bring it out. I've got 2 more to demonstrate, and then I'll round up the conclusion, put them all together, and play them one after the other, and just to remind you what you heard. Okay. Thanks for now. Thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you very shortly. Bye for now.